These people know if you stir up people. I don't know if you've been following this bombing. Them call it the Boston Marathon bombing. Some serious information have come out about that bombing, you know. I don't know how much Jamaican people know. But I know when you see it and show you something, that is the final word. So it's not in news so much again, because CNN don't put it in the mind of the people them how the thing go. But some new information is coming out about that place. I don't know how much of you saw well, make I tell you what happened. There's this big marathon race that was taking place in a Boston. And at the end, at the finishing line, a bomb go off. As a matter of fact, them says 2 bombs go off and supposedly kill 2 people, including a little 8-year-old youth. Well, them identified as some backpacker youth did have some pressure cooker bomb. And them set up the pressure cooker into a bomb and make the bomb go off. Well, I can't, whenever I investigate the thing now, for those of you who don't know this thing, I go and hear about it. Whenever I investigate this up now, them find out, say, it's 2 brothers, and one of them never originate in America. Them originate in a little country of Russia there. And them parents was in that part of the world, meanwhile them was here. But what happened now is that one of the youth them was supposedly, the brother them dead because them rob a convenience store, and meanwhile them a get where the youth shot a police, and in turn him was shot, and according to what them say, when the youth get shot, him drop on the ground and him brother drive the car accidentally and run over him and kill him. Well, eventually now, police, based upon some information, find the youth in a boat near a yard, and them fire pure shot in the boat. And them supposedly capture the youth and put him in a hospital, and him couldn't talk. He couldn't say nothing at all. So them show this on the television where this happened in America. Just one of many things like this that is taking place in America of recent. But now we are hearing some different kind of news, you know. Because at the time when them do it, them try to get in contact with the mother and the father. And the mother, which is the one, I'm sorry, I don't have the clip when she did that talk. I could have get it, you know, yeah. The mother was saying that she not believe, say her son, them involved in that. As a matter of fact, when the CNN and all the people them are interviewed, she say, no go so, the blood with them a show is not real blood. Nobody never dead. A lie them a tell, pan her 2 sons them, no go so. The CNN man look on her and say she must be damn crazy. Cause this show over the TV, people blood up and all them something there. Man all foot get lick off and all them way there. And she said, no, fear son them couldn't involve in that. As a matter of fact, the woman go as far as said that the FBI was interrogating her younger son for 3 years. 3 years. This little youth was in contact with the FBI. Okay, so everybody said this woman is a mad woman. When she met them talk about no real, no go so. Which you see, and the man I look at her, she said, you mean say where you look this pan now is not real? You mean it's not real blood and it's not real? She said, no go so. No go so. I son not involved in nothing. I son never kill nobody. No. I go and play 2 clips or so. Where I know say nobody in a Jamaica and no radio station ever hear this yet. And you're going to see how the thing unwind and unravel in some serious conspiracy involving the FBI and the American government. Serious conspiracy. And when I saw a video, and that video where I see lead I to believe the conspiracy. Because sometimes, you you have some little doubt about certain things. I say, sure. You have some little underground group where they come up with whole heap of conspiracy theory, Rasta. They might come up with some madness and crazy thinking. Because we must remember that meanwhile that is going on, a place, I think in Texas, was blown up. And the people them to them hear an explosion like it was a H-bomb. Blew up, how much people dead down there. Well, now we are getting to understand, say, a missile was fired into that place. And that we are getting to understand, who fired that missile. These are some serious questions we are going on, where we don't hear up to now on the TV. We don't see CNN pick up this thing yet, but it's a true we gone far than CNN, We are break the news now, and then you go hear CNN with it. I saw it stay upon cutting edge. But, me see a video today, brethren and sisters, it not stop you so. It not stop you so at all. Come here and say, wow, them people are not easy. Because from public TV, the lady, the mother did I say, no go so. And everybody will look on her and say, the mad woman that, oh, she can't see all of them evidence and that about no go so. But here I know. You see America, they make you see what them want you see, So sometimes when you are sittings, you feel say you actually a seat and your brains are tell you say where you see. Like what you see is what you get. Well, really and truly, what you see is what you get. But sometimes, what you see is what them want you to see. And what them want you to see, help for boost up for them point of view. And we have said that all over the world, all over in history, in their point of view, is what infiltrate with consciousness and stay there and become part of our reality. It's like advertisement. Like when a man plays an advertisement, the continuous seeing the advertisement, hearing the advertisement, seeing the advertisement is, you see, them man that study them things, them man that make the thing go inside of your subliminal, and stay there, It become a part of your reality, That is when you, next time you're going to the supermarket, no care how you did use to one product, that subliminal message is saying, say, me used to use that one, but me go try that one, And you sometimes say, you feel say, you are make the decision. And you actually, it's you are make the decision, But the irony of it is that the decision where you are make was placed there for you to make that decision. So your decision is not valid to your perspective. It's valid to their perspective. Even when it comes as your perspective. And it might sound like confusion when I say, but me know you understand what I say. A man keep ramming something in your head and you start to believe it. It's like when them waterboard the man them. You waterboard the man, because the man why you stop waterboard him tell you exactly where you want to hear. That happen over years at torturing. You torture man say, it's like in the medieval European times, when they talk about witch, when they hunt for witch people and people who involved in a witchcraft. And when you go in front of the Inquisitor, and him say, you are brought in front of us for practicing witchcraft. What thou says, And you said, no, I never involved in no witchcraft. And them say, but we have evidence to say involved in a witchcraft. I said, no, I don't involve in a witchcraft. I believe in a Jesus Christ. Him say, but if you believe in a Jesus Christ, oh, we have evidence to show say in a witchcraft. That is contrary to the word of Jesus. So you know what them do now? And we personally, me go at the place them, literally go in at the torture chamber them. In a Europe. Where them have all of these torture things, where them used to torture people. And when them put you on a certain place and stretch your body, you know. And them say, what thou says? Are you a Christian believing in the Holy Father, the Pope of Rome? Or are you a witch? Are you a witch? And you say, no. I'm say, you're a witch? No. And you say, by the time them done stretch you. You say, yes, I'm a witch. And you say, when you say you're a witch, you still get burned at the stake. You think them easy? So, when you say no, them torture you. And because you want them stop torture you, you admit something when don't go so. And then when you admit it, them still them stop torture you, them burn you at the stake. Well, it's advertisement. Advertisement come like a kind of subliminal torture chamber where you keep ramming the thing and you're ramming the thing. It's like some music in Jamaica. You start out to hear this tune and you say, what kind of fool thing that? And the more you hear it, boom, you hear it on IRFM, you hear it on Zip, you hear it on this station, that station, and you keep hearing it. You start out and say, foolishness, you know. But you see, the more you hear it, is the more your brains sup it in like a sponge. And then you start to say, why that tune is wicked, you know. And really, you know, the tune is wicked, you know. It's just because you keep hearing it over and over again. So that is what them use and play up our conscience. Them use it and play up our consciousness for years. Them tell you about sort of religious things, this, that, and because them keep repeating it, it become almost like part of you. You know, it's like a man say you have to eat breakfast. You must eat breakfast before you drink a hot cup of tea in the morning. And you feel really and truly say, you have to do that, you know. Because you say anything happen to you out the road here, you know. I true, me never drink no tea this morning, you know. You have people who do that. He may drink something else, you know, but you see when him go to the road and something, he say, I true, never drink no tea. So to him, it's because him not drink no tea, why him belly feel so, or something, him feel weak and feel tired and all them something there. And the mind, I tell you, say, when you drink the tea, you're alright. So it's a believe kill and believe cure kind of tactics. Them do that. And most of us grow up into that, what we call brainwashing. None of we no escape it. No care how we say we're conscious. It's just that somehow we are move outside and somehow we recognize say, this brainwashing thing now go work, so we have to go to something else. So the brainwashing is that you wear the clothes with them while you wear, but even though it's you choose to wear it, can you go to the store go buy it? You say it's you choose that. But you never have no choice. You can't choose out of one thing. We say that all the while. You can't choose out of one thing. You have to choose out of many different things. In a this system here, the many different thing is related to the one thing. So even though you might say 10 things, will look like it's 10 different things. But it's like your hand. You have 10 fingers, but it come in on one. When it reach down to your saw. So 10 finger not separate from your hand. So it's like you have 10 different things, but guess what? It's the same thing. So when a man say him choose one out of the other, it's not really a choice out of nothing. It's a choice out of the same thing. Choice out of the same thing. You have to really get almost kind of outcasted. If you come recognize all we get brainwashing as something or another. So now, back to why me say these things. These people want you to see and hear what they want you to see and hear. And if you as a man come around and say something different to a normal person who go up and down in business, he might say, watch out. You idiot. You can look on the something and say, hey, you have an advertisement for the television. I think I was State Farm. I don't know what people who watch TV like when we watch TV or that. Believe you me. You have an advertisement for State Farm, you know, where it's like a man and a woman sitting on the road and the woman asks the man something, the man say, where did you get that information? She say, over upon the internet. So the man say, oh, and they say that nothing. She say, no, nothing them can't put nothing upon the internet where I lie. That's the first thing. And they look at that. So she say, him ask her who she wait for, and she say she wait for her boyfriend she meet him upon the internet. Him is a French model. This is where the man come up. Really and truly though, the man look like some outer shape, outer size, somebody, you know, ear him to the ear though. Yeah, that, oh, this is my boyfriend. He's a French model. Hear the man now, bonjour. Bonjour. That's the two of them walk away. But really and truly, it's internet. She meet him bad. And his internet makes you get certain way and she say, nobody can put nothing bad by the internet because the internet always right and all these things, you know. So she have faith in that internet. But the man which she meet on the internet, him don't fit a French model physique. And him not calling the word properly. And that is very funny. But them advertise State Farm still. But them have a certain way. And we want to show you a different perspective of what took place. What them call the Boston Marathon bombing. We're going to come forward with it. This is the cutting edge on RFM. Sometimes I bring you some news where they don't read CNN yet, you know. People are wondering where we get everything from, but information is in such no way. If you want information, it will come to you, you know. If I hear them say, seek and ye shall find, trust me, man, if you're upon a certain wavelength that you want to find out about certain things, you will find it. That's how FBI and CIA and CID and Interpol and MI5 and all these things work out them system. So, me could set up the thing and get it right. Bear in mind that we don't implant something in your head. And where more you remember is that we did tell us, well, for CNN, them actually send somebody going into the country where them come from. I don't remember, it's one of the them, US canal, Suez canal, somebody can call me and remind me which part of the youth them come from. But bear in mind that the mother never believes her two children them involved in a nothing. Bear in mind that she actually looked on the things them were going on CNN and said that are not real blood. And bearing in mind that she did say that the FBI was in contact with one of the son them for 3 years. So, me I implant something in your subliminal consciousness right now. You understand?
The Boston bombing was a horrific tragedy, and whoever was behind this event deserves to be brought to justice. Unfortunately, there's a great deal of evidence that indicates that this isn't going to happen. The mainstream media and government authorities are hiding the real story. In this video, we are going to demonstrate that at the very minimum, the authorities had prior knowledge of the attack and allowed it to happen. Now, the first anomaly that surfaced immediately after the bombing was an eyewitness account indicating that there were government agents on the scene and on the roof right before the blast. This eyewitness account can be confirmed by looking at photographic evidence before and after the event. There are pictures clearly showing someone on the roof and several men wearing identical pants, boots, and shirts and listening to communications through devices in their ears. These men were positioned right next to the blast zone, then later moved across the street just before the bomb went off. These same men were then seen communicating with authorities after the explosion. One photo shows one of these men walking around on the scene with an unidentified device. Another shows someone crouching next to a backpack in a doorway. This photographic evidence opens up another can of worms because these uniforms match the dress code of a private security company called Kraft International. And in one of the photos, a logo can be seen on one of their hats that seems to match the Kraft International logo. Neither the mainstream media nor government officials have made any mention of the contractors. And when government officials were confronted, they refused to answer the question.
Next question, please. Next question, please. Yes.
So there's a lot more evidence of a cover-up that we aren't even going to touch here because it would open up way too many tangents. If you do a little research on your own, you'll find plenty of information. Just what we showed here clearly indicates that the Sarnoff brothers weren't acting alone if they were indeed involved in the bombing. However, their parents have come forward stating that their sons had been in contact with the FBI for years and that they were framed by the U.S. government. There are also serious questions concerning the death of the older brother. The mainstream media released this footage of someone closely resembling him being placed under arrest, alive and well. Yet shortly after, it was reported that he was killed in a shootout. Just like in the Dorner case, it seems like someone didn't want these men to get the chance to stand trial. Of course, the authorities haven't commented on this at all. What really happened? Well, we won't know unless there's a real investigation, which at this point seems highly unlikely.
Whoa. Are you trying to say that the government was involved in a plot to kill and injure its own citizens? That's crazy talk.
Really, you think so? Funny, Ted Gunderson, a former FBI chief, has a different point of view.
Look at the terrorist acts that have occurred. The CIA denied most, if not all of them. We had the Marine Barracks, their embassy in Kenya. We had Pan Am 103. We had the USS Cole. We had Oklahoma City. We had the World Trade Center in 1993.
So if this event was engineered by the government or intentionally allowed to happen, what's the motive? Well, let's look at how the government responded. Just 2 days after the attack, Senator Lautenberg announced he was going to reintroduce legislation requiring background checks for the sale of gunpowder. And as we warned in a previous video, while everyone was distracted by these events, they passed the CISPA internet bill in the House. Now it just has to go through the Senate. Also under this cover, the president signed a law called S-716, which basically gutted the Stock Act, which was intended to make it harder for the legislative and executive branches from engaging in insider trading. The media distraction conveniently kept the attention off of this. However, the most disturbing aspect of this situation is the way they used it to roll out martial law on the streets. Using the exact armored vehicles we had exposed in a previous video entitled Government Preparing for a Collapse, and not in a nice way. We saw these militarized SWAT teams searching from house to house with no warrants. The streets looked like a war zone. This was a further extension of the abuses we saw in the Dorner case. What they are doing right now is conditioning the American people for police state justice, where suspects are hunted down by paramilitary forces which break down people's doors at will, and where suspects are mysteriously killed without getting a chance to stand trial. This is what the NDAA looks like, people. They didn't make these laws for nothing, and what we're seeing is just the beginning. Make no mistake, the people who are really behind this event aren't going to stop. There's more to come, and the violations of your rights are going to become more and more blatant. The powers that be are building up to something big. I don't pretend to know what that event is, and I don't pretend to know when it's going to happen. But I will say this. If we allow them to get away with this now, eventually these scenes that we saw in Watertown are going to be directed at political dissidents. All of the signs that your government is preparing for a full police state crackdown are right in front of your eyes. We've shown in previous videos how the government is buying up billions of rounds of hollow point ammunition, setting up plans and training employees for military detention camps for U.S. citizens, and buying up thousands of military-grade armored vehicles like we saw being deployed in Watertown. I understand that this is extreme, and that some of you may be hesitant to share this information with others. But if you see what's at stake here, then you have the responsibility to do everything in your power to wake people up. The embarrassment you may feel when someone calls you a conspiracy theorist or something along those lines is nothing compared to the consequences of allowing these criminals to proceed unhindered. Please make a commitment to reach out to as many people as you can, especially the police, the military, and the DHS. There are good men and women in these organizations. We've got to get their attention. We've got to help them realize where this is going. If we fail, in the not-too-distant future, you're going to wake up and realize that you're living in a full-out military dictatorship. And when that day comes, it's going to be too late. If you'd like more content like this, please subscribe to this channel, Storm Clouds Gathering on YouTube. For updates and bonus content, follow us on Facebook at Facebook.com.
Thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Muta Baruka.
Massive manhunt for the two most wanted men in America has come to a dramatic end. There was a collective sigh of relief and cheering in the streets. Tonight, one alleged bomber captured, the other dead. All day until just a few hours ago, this city was in an unprecedented lockdown with nearly 1 million people warned to remain inside their homes. My colleague Lindsay Davis watched the whole search unfold from the streets of Watertown.
After the second suspect of the attacks at the Boston Marathon on the 16th of April was captured in Watertown Friday night, ending a 24 hours manhunt and lockdown in the greater Boston area, and supposedly taken alive to a local hospital. Two videos surfaced on the internet as very compelling evidences pointing out that the bomb attack at the marathon was actually an inside job sanctioned by the U.S. government, and the Chechen brothers are patsies framed by the FBI to protect the identity of the real perpetrators of such heinous violence. According to mainstream media, the older of the two brothers was killed in a gunfight with the Boston police and his body was ran over by a stolen SUV driven by his brother, a version officially kept by the Boston authorities. But a video aired by the CNN shows a man identical to the first suspect, who was stripped naked by the cops, handcuffed and getting into the police car. After official reports of the first suspect's death, the mainstream media changed the story, alleging that the man in this video was released by the police and the whole scene was an incident not related to the Boston Marathon. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure the man in this footage is the first suspect, and perhaps the Boston authorities and the FBI would like to explain how he is seen for the last time in this video alive, walking and in custody. The second evidence is the aerial thermal imaging footage released by the Boston police, which shows a robotic arm removing the tarpaulin and cops detonating explosive devices inside the boat. The official version reported by mainstream media is that those are flash grenades, but the thermal video clearly shows something blasting to pieces inside the boat. If that is the body of the second suspect, what are the odds of him surviving that blast? As far as I'm concerned, the police could have put his mutilated dead body in the ambulance, and in my opinion those thermal images are showing an execution, not a capture. Quickie comparison between a satellite image of that address with a still photo released by Fox News that shows the amount of bullet holes across the boat's structure suggests that he was shot several times before the action of the vehicle equipped with a robotic arm. According to latest reports of mainstream media, the second suspect is in grave conditions and unable to speak, what is quite convenient if the Boston police took a dead body to the hospital. But assuming, just for 1 minute, that he's still alive, he's certainly a nuisance that hardly will be allowed to speak. If indeed he was executed while hiding inside that boat, it's hard to say for how long the Boston authorities and the U.S. government will keep these shenanigans. During the whole week, the mainstream media aired videos with relatives of the two Chechen suspects, claiming they were framed by the FBI. Apparently their relatives have worked in the law system and law enforcement, what perhaps suggests they were not talking about a setup, just in the heat of the moment.
Есть такие полицейские. Я разговаривал с ними, они говорят, потому что я за своего сына боюсь, за жизнь его. Пусть они его должны арестовать, привести, но живым. Живым. И надо, чтобы правосудие разбиралось в этом, кто прав, кто виноват.
Okay, can I speak now?
Yes, you are indeed. You're live on RT.
Thank you. Well, what can I tell? It's really like a hard thing to hear. And being a mother, what I can say is I am really sure, I am like 100% sure that this is a setup. my son would never do this. My son, it's set up. He was controlled by FBI like for 5 years. They knew what my son was doing. They knew what actions and what the sites on internet he was going. They used to come home. They used to come and talk to me. They used to tell me that that they are controlling his. They were telling me that he's a really a serious leader, and they are afraid of him. They told me that whatever computer site or whatever is there, whatever information he's getting, they are controlling him. So.
According to the suspect's mother, they were in touch with the FBI for at least 3 years. She claims they were being counseled by the feds, but I believe that she meant to say they were being handled, probably motivated by fake promises of benefits of working as patsys for the US government, if indeed it was the FBI, because they could as well be handled by black operatives of secret agencies or private contractors impersonating federal agents.
Obviously, we're all here thinking something's going to happen in terms of an arrest or an arraignment of a suspect.
But you also saw a Boston police boat
and in drives
the harbor,
a van
right?
with it. There's a man attached to the side of this van as this van is going in. Here's his van. There's a man on the outside, and this van is now backing into the federal courthouse. Do you think they evacuated the courthouse to bring the person in?
I didn't do it when they brought Whitey Bulger in, I can tell you that much. So I don't know.
The presence of Blackwater type of soldiers of fortune at the Boston Marathon, identified along the week on the internet as operatives of Kraft International, seems to highlight the hypothesis that the bomb attacks of the 16th of April were an inside job. The odds are that these professional assassins were there, either to plant the bombs, or as a backup in case of the Chechen patsys failed and get it done. Whatever are the real facts, one thing seems to get more evident day after day. That attack was definitely an inside job sanctioned by the US government. The agenda behind it, only time will tell.
REFM, thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Muta Baruka.
Good day with you. Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
So, people go further than that. Tell them and say, and when I see the interview with the commissioner, the police commissioner, in a Boston there, because people are claim now say, most of the things that you see in that video there will look disastrous, is acting. Now, when we hear about the conspiracy, the FBI conspiracy, and how them can shift up things, we in a Jamaica know that go already. Will come on to our police them. Our police them are the architect of shifting up evidence and moving around things to make it look like, say, there was a shootout. And enough you dead in a Jamaica where the police say shootout and I don't know shootout. So we now have to kind of figure out if those things is possible. Because we know say it possible. We know that in a Jamaica. We have the experience of that. We can tell American about shifting up evidence and putting things, make it look like say you and me and you and me. Because Jamaican people feel that, and that this is state here. When it come on to you dying, and then you hear says a shootout, I hear say man pull machete and pull gun after man and all them there. So it's not a far-fetched idea. Not a far-fetched idea, considering say America is 300 million people. The population of America is 300 million. The population of China gone over billions, believe you me. Yet still, America have more prisoners in a prison than any other country in the world. I wonder if you hear me I say. America, they brave. America, they free. have more prisoners in prison than any other country in the world. How is that possible? Because you know them franchise prisons in America. We go to one prison in a Nebraska there. Big prison where them say some prisoner there them say when them want to meet him. And when we go into the prison, man, me I tell you, say, me personally that live in that prison there. Believe you me, that prison there is I mean, trust me, man. That prison there, prison, man. Believe you me, man. When you look on the floor, them, you know, shine all flowers garden and television room and believe you me, that is what you call rehabilitation. We know in a Jamaica how it go when it come on to our security forces and how the thing work out. Now I look on this video with this commissioner and when I hear them I say this thing is acting. The commissioner mouth slip when they talk about what took place there with the actors and then them slip and say, oh I mean and him gone something. And people never hear that, Rasta. It takes some youth to go to the newscasts and play back the newscasts where them are interview the commissioner for hear when the commissioner say actors. Oh, nobody now investigate them something there. It's a terrible thing. But then again, there's a whole heap of things that go on in Jamaica when I get investigated because it done slam done there already. What them say is so it go. So there's no need to investigate something if the state conclude that is so it go. Even though is the state responsible for the conclusion of the thing without the investigation. I will say enough of that to go on in Jamaica. So we have to even look at it as conspiracy theory. Because that don't mean say because it's a conspiracy, it's not true. That don't mean that because somebody labels something a conspiracy theory, it's not true. You know, we started out talking about this Boston Marathon bombing. But we are going at it more because for those of you who have follow it up or not follow it up, you know, so them did I try connect some other people with the two youth them and them go to Florida and connect a man down there who come from Chetna with the youth them. The problem with it is that the police them shot him and kill him down in Florida. Is that way them say he was a karate expert and they been using karate to kill them, to lick them up. But guess what now? There's an investigation, just like Jamaica again. There's an investigation taking place to find out if this agent, which is really an FBI agent, used excessive force against this man in Florida who would allege that he was connected to the two youth them in Boston. Listen to this.
Today's video is brought to you by Seeds Now. The alternative media television. This is an absolutely chilling breaking story. Please get it out to your friends and family and all over the interweb. Share it on your social media platforms. An FBI agent has killed a man after questioning him about the Boston Marathon bombing. A friend of Tamerlan, the eldest boxer brother. Now, of course, the Boston bombing has been emblazoned in scandal. Some people believe it to be a conspiracy theory. Others believe that it was a full frontal and staged attack and staged event to trample our civil liberties here in America, to destroy our Constitution, for the police state. And it was, a lot of people believe, a test run for martial law in the city of Boston, which was a very effective test where you had people coming out of their homes, illegal search and seizure. You had family members and children crying in the background as the police, the FBI, the CIA, special forces shut and locked down an entire city looking for one suspect on the loose, which, by the way, was unarmed, and then later allegedly engaged in a firefight, although it came out from Obama officials and officials at the Boston Police Department that he didn't have a gun, even though they said he had a gun at first. and we clearly had indicated that there would be an attempt to assassinate him. He's still recovering from wounds, very violent gunshot wounds to his throat. He's been unable to speak. We've been unable to get any confirmation from the youngest brother, Dzhokhar, as a suspect. His elder brother, Tamerlan, dead. He can't speak. And now we have a third, number 3, a third individual who is now dead because an FBI agent shot him while he was questioning him. This is a breaking report. Let's go to the story here. It says an FBI agent kills man after questioning him about the Boston Marathon bombing. An FBI special agent shot and killed a man in Orlando, Florida on Wednesday morning, just after he was interrogated about the Boston Marathon bombings. The man, who was identified as 27-year-old Ibrahim Tadashev, was reportedly an acquaintance of Tamerlan Tsarnaev, who he met through the world of mixed martial arts. Like Tsarnaev, he was a Chechen-born Muslim, but only met the older brother after moving to the United States. He was shot shortly after midnight at an apartment complex about 10 miles from Walt Disney World in Florida. The FBI only said that an agent encountered the suspect while conducting official duties. The suspect is deceased, he's dead, and they have not offered any other details. This latest suspect who is being questioned has now been fatally shot and wounded by the FBI. If you don't think that's suspicious, you're completely insane. Now that they would kill another alleged suspect connected to the Boston bombing. So again, there is no official story. We never get the appropriate narrative from the suspects themselves, only what the FBI is telling us. So this guy's dead. And as we look back to the story here, a friend of Tadashev, who was allegedly a friend of Tamerlan, says that they were both being interviewed by the FBI for 3 hours on Tuesday. And the men were asked what they knew about Tsarnaev and were also asked about their political views. This latest suspect that was shot also claims that he thought he was being set up and expressed concerns that something bad was going to happen to them. He says that he had been followed by the FBI on more than one occasion since the Boston terrorist attack. The story goes on to say that he had recently been arrested for aggravated assault, but his friend says he was attacked in a parking lot and was simply defending himself. So the story goes on and on here. The suspect's friend says they are both Muslim, but not radical, and that the latest suspect that had been shot does not own a gun. According to the FBI agent had felt threatened and then opened fire on this latest suspect and fatally wounded him. There's numerous reports of this. Yahoo News, this was sent actually by a subscriber. Thank you to our subscriber for sending that to me. Fox, the Orlando Sentinel, ABC, on and on. So I want you to understand the gravity of what has just happened. We have a third suspect. And remember, this entire Boston bombing has been a very large conspiracy that many Americans have been trying to grapple with to better understand, was this a dry run for martial law? Was this total bullshit? Was this a setup? Could it have, in fact, been staged? But regardless of whether or not you believe in that, and regardless if you buy into it being a conspiracy or not, what we do know factually is we just now have a third individual who has been targeted and is wound up dead, has been fatally shot by an FBI agent, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, linking and investigating this case. Another person mummed. Another person who can't talk, can't come to his own defense at a trial, can't have a hearing, can't be represented by an attorney to get his narrative out to the American people. He's just been shut up, he's been quieted, and he's been murdered by the FBI. For you not to think that this is not incredibly suspicious and incredibly damning of the FBI itself is to be somebody that honestly is not a critical thinker and is not asking appropriate questions regarding this case. We owe it to the victims of the Boston Marathon bombing to find out the truth of who is responsible and who was responsible for this attack. If there was any involvement by the CIA, the FBI, the federal government at large, which is, by the way, emblazoned in a massive scandal, the IRS scandal, the Benghazi scandal, the wiretapping of the Associated Press. If this does in fact link to the White House, link back to the federal government and the administration, the American people deserve to get the truth.
this latest murder by the FBI of now a third targeted individual linked to this case is only more proof to the pudding and adds more suspicion, with many of you don't and have trouble acknowledging as a legitimate possibility that this was a conspiracy and a cover-up from the very beginning. That this had been orchestrated by the federal government, the administration, the CIA, and the FBI for maybe a number of reasons. To complete successfully a test run of martial law in the great city of Boston. To further infiltrate and to further destroy civil liberties here.
Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Muta Baruka.